Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Smoke and Mirrors. It's been a minute, like a week and a half. Kenny B, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Party, power to the people, not
Power
party.
to the
not yet.
people.
Power
All
to
of
the
that.
people.
All that
It's been
shit.
a minute.
All that.
We had to process all that is happening. We took a week off to process and regurgitate it and bring it back to the people. So much to talk about. Kenny, how was your week, sir?
Still partying over here at the Trump rally.
I can see.
See the empty-headed black people with me? That's what the Trump rally was packed with. Empty-headed.
I heard it was like 500,000 people, allegedly.
Oh, yeah, it was billions of
Billions
people. Billions of people bought tickets and, couldn't get through.
Showed up.
They couldn't get past they couldn't get past the angry mob outside that was going to kill Trump if he walked out there. So I bet a lot more people showed up and was like, fuck that. And turned around.
We good.
We good.
We watching online.
We got here late. Got big Confederate flag on my car. Yeah. I bet a lot of that got changed when they saw the crowd outside the arena.
Yeah. Nothing like a Confederate flag on a 76 Ford F-150. That's right.
I like it.
Changing the world right now. America!
America!
America! All right, so, so much to talk about. Black Lives Matters in the news. I found out based on their website what Black Lives Matter really represents. So people out there, you scream Black Lives Matter. Have you been to their page?
Shocking.
Surprise.
Shocking.
We're going to talk about it. Election polls show that Joe Biden is like winning.
Killing them. So it's killing them. But it's early. We haven't seen the November surprise yet.
Man, Joe Biden's ads, man, they're like just, he don't even know, how do you have a horrible ad when you have time to get it right? Listen, I'm Joe Biden. I got this thing coming up later this year.
Right.
Listen, you got $1.75 or $2, $5.
$3 like a hole. You got $5 like a hole. It's like, hey, it's Joe Biden. I want to ask you for something.
Hey, man, let me holler at you real quick, man.
Right. Joe Biden got the crackhead ad team, and Trump got the damn pro wrestler Vince McMahon style ad team.
Let me tell you something.
Oh yeah, sucker. Oh yeah. You should have brought Dennis Rodman out there. That would have took the cake if Dennis Rodman would have been a special case.
Come on.
Right.
Joe Biden, he wouldn't even look at the camera in his YouTube app. He's like, hey, listen, Joe Biden, I got this thing coming up later this year. You got $1.75, $3-4.
Yeah.
We got to beat that guy.
At least he didn't walk off the set while he was doing it this time.
Yeah. No one called him off and said, hey, that's enough. All right.
Speaking of walking off the set, these cops,
they quit.
If I can't choke a motherfucker,
I'm sick.
What's worth it? What's the value of the job? Why you think I joined?
I'm going home.
But on the other side, there are some, in Atlanta at least, what was told to the police chief, the interim police chief, a lot of the cops who aren't coming to work is because they are not confident in their training and they see their peers getting on their way to go to prison for what they've been trained to do. And that's a real point, right? Y'all trained me to attack like that, and now you're sending me to jail for doing what you trained me? I'm not coming to work. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So there's that element of it as well. So that'd be, something to talk about.
Here we go. I'm going to pull the numbers here later in the show. So I looked at the training in America for police officers versus other countries.
Yeah.
And I think it's a whopping 6 weeks of training versus other countries that have like 2 years. But I'll pull the data.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's more training to throw newspapers. It's the same amount of time.
Like Colin Kaepernick said, it's more training to use a curling iron than a pistol.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. How telling that is. All right. So as it relates to that and Colin Kaepernick, people saying he should come back because the NFL said that, they kind of said, hey, we were wrong. Speaking of returns, the return of Corona allegedly is coming. Hey, your boy Trump, behind you, he got 5 million people at a mega church, allegedly. And he says, listen, don't worry about the mask. Because he told you the numbers will go down
as soon as we stop testing.
Close
your eyes and it's dark.
You can't see me.
Right.
You can't see me. And his boy Fauci saying, listen, the next 2 weeks, and at the same day, he's saying, you know, we've survived this pandemic. We're moving forward.
But Fauci don't even want to come on TV no more, man. Fauci's pissed off. Fauci's like, man, I told y'all motherfuckers, you still up on that stupid shit. I don't got time. Me and my family, we packing and we moving.
Moving to the Netherlands.
Right, we out of here. Y'all crazy. Walking around still with no mask. Texas, I think there's a town in Texas, Houston. 97% of their ICU beds are gone now, you know? So Texas had what, 5,000 people today? And
it's the coronavirus right now in Texas,
All the states that said they didn't believe it. Arizona. And now Atlanta is higher than it's ever been right now. Like this week, it's the highest it's ever been. So we're
I saw the mayor mention that you know, so it's, they're trying to keep that, because what I'm saying is businesses are trying so hard to pretend it's over with, but you can't just nothing changed from February,
bro. And why are they not talking about how many people are going to the hospital now? Because business is got to get back better, and business is what pays those news channels bills. And if we can't get business, we ain't sponsoring. So you might as well say what we want you to say, or you're gonna be off. You ain't gonna say what you want to say either way. So that's just what it is right now, man.
Well, listen, so as it relates to saying what you want to say, if you are in your garage at NASCAR, and you see a noose, you need to say something.
I'm saying something.
You saying something. So when you say something, and all of NASCAR says, you know what, this Confederate flag does not represent who we are. We stand by our brother, Bubba Wallace, and we're going to support him. And we're going to find out who did this, and we're going to have every NASCAR driver, those that even said the N-word as recent as yesterday, they're going to push his car and stand behind him. And you know what happened yesterday.
Yeah, but it was still a noose. And that's just the kind of toys that they play with. They just make nooses for practice. I don't got nothing else to do. Let me practice my noose skills with this garage door rope, just in case. Just in case. You never know. You want to make sure your noose tightening skills are up to par, man.
But
you never know. You never know when a good noosing is needed.
Yes, a noosologist is always good to have on standby. But what hurts all that is it gives folks the opportunity to say, you know what, see, they're always trying to create a situation, and there was nothing there. Well, so that's what
he had a valid reason for being alarmed. You know, he didn't see it. His team saw it, and they just took the proper precautions. Like if you came into your office in any corporate setting, and you saw a noose tied out of even the drawstring on your window shade, if you have a window in your office, right, and you saw it tied into a noose, you might have some questions about that, especially if you're driving a Black Lives Matter car and you just got the Confederate flag removed. So you're appropriately alarmed. It was a false alarm, but all the appropriate steps were taken. I appreciated the way that NASCAR responded to that.
But have they been in the garage since October? Because that's what the video it was there.
Yeah, October 2019. Yeah, October that this.
So that's all. I mean, I don't want to give anyone fuel to say, you know, there's you know, crying wolf again, and there's nothing there, and it shows that, you know what, we supported you, and you're just crying wolf again. So that's what I don't like about it.
That I get what you're saying, but that whole thing is like folks trying to reframe the argument. You just can't let them take the argument in that direction. You got to bring the argument back to what it really is, right? Folks, you know, same with the Black Lives Matter. Oh, all lives matter. No, we're not talking about all lives. We're talking about Black lives, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to deflect from what's really happening, because you don't really want to acknowledge it. So you go and talk make up some foolishness to shift the subject.
Absolutely. Okay.
So yeah. So Brother Bubba, though, I applaud him, man. He must conduct himself very well in order for all those men to be willing to fall behind him. Especially because look at their core audience, man. They've been like balling out on that redneck, toothless, Confederate flag loving Confederate flag.
America.
You know, and who who could look past the Confederate flag, right, and still go give people their money, right? So they had that audience the whole time, and they're sort of throwing that audience away. Like, if that's what y'all are, we'll just wait y'all out.
Kenny, it almost makes you want to question, like, who a complete 180 in the last 10 years, 5 years, 2 years. I mean, it's complete. Is it new leadership? Something happened at the top to say, you know what? This is not who we are anymore.
Nah, something happened in America that you can't profit in that way anymore. You know, their audience was dwindling. They weren't getting the same.
You're trying to take my guns, Kenny.
Yep, and that's it. Yep, we're just gonna take your cars, not your guns. We're gonna take your drivers, and then our drivers are gonna take your daughters. See Bubba? You see Bubba's girl?
Oh yeah.
So Bubba is the black dude in NASCAR, right? Like we mixed. We both mixed. I just wonder what kind of mixed he is. Like, is he white dad, black mom, or is he white mom, black dad?
Well, he's definitely white girlfriend or white wife.
White wife, yeah. Because if you got a white dad and a white wife, you can't use the N-word either. You ain't that black.
Damn. He okay. I don't know if he got the email or not. So
right. That's. Watch, if a video come out, he'll find out. Like Tiger can't use the N-word because you can't. If you Caucasian, you can't use the N-word.
That's right.
Fat Joe can use the N-word. Tiger can't use the N-word.
Tiger Woods can't use it. Double standards.
Right. Dominicans can use the N-word, but I don't know if Bubba Wallace can. But I like how the whole. It's funny to hear Black Lives Matter in Southern redneck drawl. You know what I mean? It sounds sweet when you hear it, even if they don't mean it. We support Black Lives Matter around these parts. Like, all right.
Hey, all I'm saying, when a brother take his hat off and he does this.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying that's what he did when he took his hat off, man, and put his mask on. I'm just saying,
yeah. Oh yeah, no good hair jokes. Don't hate him on his hair. Can't do nothing about that.
Because we know. Hey, what's in your glass there, sir? Is that Tang?
So
you an astronaut?
Tang, yeah. Take you to space.
Tang, yeah. And I also have. This is some light skin Coke.
There you go.
Light skin Coke. For YouTube purposes.
So, all right. So I was talking to somebody about the All Lives Matter, right? I mean, at what point do we just stop arguing with these motherfuckers about that whole point? Why, I keep watching motherfuckers. Everybody's trying to prove to the people that say all lives matter, everybody got to come back. At what point do you just not recognize that? No, they know what they say. It's that they're not pretending to be. They're not dumb. They're just pretending to be dumb. You look dumb arguing with somebody who says all lives matter, like you're going to convince them that Black Lives Matter. And what they're telling you in a cowardly way is that to them Black lives don't matter. That's what they're saying. And that's how I take that, right? So I think we need to reintroduce punches to the face again. I think that needs to become it's not quite dueling, right? It's not quite dueling or sword fighting, but back to just punching people right in the face. If you say some shit and I punch you and I disagree,
not elbow to the throat, not
punch
yet.
in your face and nobody calls cops. We just
old school.
Right. Old school. That's right.
Put them up.
That's right. Put them up.
So you mentioned acknowledging Black Lives Matter, and I want to focus more on the statement and not the organization. So we'll break down the organization because I found out some stuff this week. I didn't know what they based on their About Us. I didn't know that. So based on the statement, Black Lives Matter. Your boy Dave Chappelle did a great impromptu stand-up routine just talking about Black Lives Matter and just saying, like, we're not trying to say that Black lives are supreme, Black lives dominate, just matter.
Yeah.
Like, hey, they exist. And there's an issue with that because people say, well, white lives matter.
Right.
So
lives matter. Right.
Yeah. So when we see, 4 black officers with their knee on a Caucasian civilian, then we'll have that conversation. However, speaking of Black Lives Matter, Kenny B, I know that you're very detail oriented, analytical guy. So I did some homework.
Yeah.
I went to the Black Lives Matter homepage, and I wanted to find out. So millions of people have been saying Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. And I think it's important if you're going to endorse something and you're going to state it, you should know the origin of what you're talking about. Right. So on their website, sir, it says, we affirm the lives of Black, queer, and trans.
Don't even start with your cisgender bullshit.
It's on the page.
Okay. Read it, cisgender, sir.
Yes. We affirm the lives of Black, queer, and trans folks, disabled folks, undocumented folks, folks with records, women, and all Black lives along the gender spectrum. So I never knew what LGBTQ, what the queer is, but I'm saying, so the two originators that started Black Lives Matter, two lesbian women, and I think people are trying to, that don't know what the origin of the company is or the organization, they're trying to say that it's not about this whole LGBTQ thing, but that's the base of what it's behind outside of course, Black Lives. So it's part, you can't take that out of it. I didn't know, so people that are like, Black Lives Matter is a nice statement and it's a nice catchphrase and it sounds good, but I'm just saying you should know more about what you're supporting. So that you know, at the end of the day, Black Lives Matter, but the agenda is really about, based on what they have on their page, not me talking, it's about their agenda that's not just about like, hey, Black people matter too, but more importantly, Black, queer, and trans folks matter. Oh yeah, and regular Black people too.
Yeah, there's a lot of statements in there about women and parents and ageism, trans Black trans women, and very little, no mention. I didn't see anything mentioned of towards Black males. It's almost like Black men.
That would be zero.
Straight, except to be, cisgender. But even in the cisgender statement was putting cisgender as though we are an oppressive force, like a monolithic being that is just oppressing on purpose the entire gay community. And I get it, the gay community is definitely oppressed, but not to turn cisgender into the enemy. I don't even know who named us that. I don't even know how that came out. I'm a cisgender.
There's new terms coming out every month.
Yeah, so cisgender apparently means somebody who just identifies with the gender that they were assigned at birth, or basically born with, and that's the outside. And the heteronormative and nuclear family, those are things that they promote being against. Those are things that they promote not being not wanting to see continue. And so you just, sometimes a slogan will get you siding with something that you don't really agree with. And just because there's Black faces in front of it and the slogan is affirmative, it doesn't really mean that the group is driving us in the right direction. I don't even know who their priority is, because what they're stating in their mission statement, they're about us. And it's not that I agree or disagree, it is what it is. But what they're stating is that they're and it's a worthwhile mission to be on. The mission is to bring the ostracized in the Black community to the forefront, and the ostracized by way of gender, age, and sexual orientation. And the ostracizers in this scenario are cisgender Black men, or men and cisgender men in general. So the cisgender male is kind of the bad guy in this situation, and I don't agree with that either. And so for me, more power to you. Black lives do matter. Nice slogan, but yeah, folks should really understand what their organization's platform is really about, and where they're trying, what they want to promote, what their priorities are. And that's a good question, right? Can you serve two masters, right? If you're Black and gay, and Black people are being killed, and gay people are being killed, and Black and gay people are being killed, but at a certain point, which one are you? Are you Black or are you gay? Are you Black or are you a cop? Are you Black or are you a Republican? Because all too often, man, we tend to think that we're the other one. Like the same with the cops walking off, right? The Black cops walking off after seeing brothers getting killed. And if you're walking off, then which one are you? Did you forget you a Black cop, that you Black before you cop? But are you claiming cop? And too many of them are. And same one, and the same with Black Lives Matter. It's no problem with them having gay as their priority, but make that known as well. Don't tell me that there's no pork in this if I don't mess with pork. And there's a lot of people that just don't mess with gay people, and it's not it's their choice. I'm not gonna force it on them. I don't care, but some people do, and that's their choice. Some people don't want to mess with white people. Some people don't want to mess with Black people, whatever. You got that choice here still. Just don't harm anybody. but be upfront, because that's a sign of honesty and integrity and character as well. And if you're not forthcoming with me of who you really are and what you really stand for, you know, I don't know that you got the character to be the head of our salvation, of getting us out of this situation that we've been in for 400 years, and that you're fit to lead us if you're not even honest with us about what your agenda is and what you're really all about. What's your priority, and what is wrong with straight Black men that we shouldn't be allowed to take leadership positions within Black Lives Matter? Why would we be ostracized in that way? This whole society hates straight Black men. The whole country hates straight Black men, and Black Lives Matter paints us in a negative light on their own website. It's dismissive, and it's kind of insulting.
I think that's a very good point. So two things, Kenny. So for our listeners and those that subscribe and like our page, thank you. Like the page and follow and share Smoke and Mirrors on Facebook and YouTube. So again, explain the term cisgender to those that are watching that may not know what that new term is. I think they just made it up. It ain't made it to Webster's yet, but
I don't know what cis. Yeah, CIS gender, and it basically, if I understand it correctly, it basically just means that you identify with the sex that you were born into. So if
they're constantly just coming up with new terms and stuff, so cisgender.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, so the question, I get it. You know, there's a lot of folks that have a lot of valid questions. It's a entertaining argument to watch. I would hate to be in a situation where you know, I felt ostracized to that extent. You know, I don't envy their challenge in society, and I agree that they should have a place at the table, in the platform, in helping to, you know, have a voice in solving the problem. But here's the other thing: gay people have always had a voice in solving this stuff. There were gay people that marched with Dr. King. There were gay people that marched with Dr. King. There was gay people that was helping Harriet Tubman. There was gay people that helped.
Wait, hold on.
Frederick Douglass and
hold on. I'm sorry. You said gay people was helping Harriet Tubman.
I mean, you seen Harriet Tubman?
The train is over here. Okay, no, too much. Okay, listen. So never mind that. So as it relates to cisgender. So it sounds like Black Lives Matter does not acknowledge the demographic that is most in jeopardy of being in a position where they are
extinct.
Exactly. So that the Black male. So yeah. I'm just saying, you know, that this kind of concerns me, because I know that from our last show we talked about that quite a bit of money was donated to several organizations, and Black Lives Matter received a lot of money from large organizations. So I'm just kind of curious, and I'm not trying to be in anyone's money, but I'm wondering, so what are they going to do with these millions that they were granted and given for the cause?
They're going to do exactly what's on their website. That's their agenda, and that's fine. That's their agenda. More power to you. You know, so Black Lives Matter will host the transgender reading at the local library.
Oh wow!
Right,
okay.
So that the kids can come on Saturday and get introduced to LGBT community in a harmless setting. So, but Black Lives Matter, that's what you know. So they'll promote, because you know I mean, think about it, bro. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You know, I see why they would do it. I mean, gay Black men get messed up. Who's the meanest people in the world to gay people? Straight Black people. We kind of mean. We kind of mean.
People, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of mean. We kind of mean.
No.
Church is full of them. Church is full of gay folks. All the gay sons. They at church every Sunday trying to get salvation, trying to
directing the choir.
Yeah, you can't. I don't believe you could get turned out. I believe you get turned on, right? There ain't nobody talking me into certain things, period, right? There's just no, it ain't happening. You're just not gonna talk me into that, right? So I get that. I was born this way. I can understand being born away, and then I would be, if I was born exactly as I was, and I woke up in a culture, in a society, that I'll get killed for being this way, and I have to be in a closet and go around married to a man. That would be hell to me. And that's why I imagine the same hell that would be to a gay person. So, you know, you shouldn't be abused because you're gay. You shouldn't be in danger because you're gay, just like you shouldn't be abused or in danger because you're black. But we pretty tough on gay people, man, in our community. And so
unlike any others.
And that's what makes Black Lives Matter scary to me. Because shit, I'll tell you who might hate black men more than the Klan, gay black people. They probably hate us more than the fucking neo-Nazis, man. You know, we haven't done shit to a neo-Nazi, and look but what have we done to the person that, oh, look at that little sissy, look at that punk over there. What have we done as just heterosexual males, jocks in high school? What kind of abuse did they go through?
Growing up in the 70s, everybody had that cousin, the uncle. Yeah. You know, he was different. Yeah. You know, he liked to jump rope.
Right.
He liked to jump double dutch. You know, he was different.
Threw straight down.
Right, but there was no hatred. So you said that. I don't think that,
because he wasn't holding hands with nobody.
What you mean?
Like now he's out there holding hands with his boyfriend. That's where the hatred comes in, right? There was no hatred because he was controlled. He wasn't free. But as soon as he started acting gay, it's sort of like black people, right? As soon as we start acting black, free, you know, powerful, now we become a threat and we piss people off on the other side of the spectrum. Same with gay, straight, you know, gay people just being in love and all that. It does piss a lot of people off. People do get kind of ugly towards it.
But across the country, if you look at the numbers and demographics, you know, gay couples, they're doing okay. I'm just saying, just
but
as far as.
But they know they're not welcomed in certain churches. They know they're not welcomed in certain establishments. They still
in Atlanta,
all over. I mean, I'm just saying, in the world in general, not necessarily Atlanta, not even the United States, the world in general. You know, they're oppressed. I mean, I'm not you know, gonna knock them for that. That's the truth. They're oppressed. They're marginalized. They're
the gay folks they're not getting pulled over for being gay, right? So I'm saying it's a different oppression.
Right, you can't tell. But I bet they get more. I bet they get molested by more cops than the average person. Yeah, you gonna get out this ticket? Oh, you know what you gonna do? You know, I would imagine.
All right, so let's get to if the leader of the free world, the president of the United States, is holding a rally in the midst of a pandemic that has not. Don't worry about the second wave. We're still first wave.
Yeah.
So if they're holding a rally, again, I don't know what the rally is for. If the rally is about, let's make America great again.
Motivating people to come out to vote, getting people inspired to go tell their friends to vote, register to vote, all that shit. You know, we got to win. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, the whole sales shebang.
All right. So he's campaigning.
Yeah, exactly.
Against a candidate that does not really offer a real threat, or is it a formidable candidate? I mean,
Biden.
Yeah, that guy.
Man, we so damn sleep. Biden Biden is leading right now. Biden is winning. So in the choice between a bowl of shit with corn in it or a bowl of shit with peanuts in it, the bowl of shit with corn in it is winning. But it's fresher. It's fresh. At least the bowl of shit with peanuts is kind of dried out. I don't even smell it anymore, quite honestly. It just sits there in the corner. Nobody in the whole, people come to my house, they don't even smell it either. It's just because it's in their house too. But we're gonna opt for a new fresh bowl of shit with corn in it, and it's gonna be just hot, and we're gonna have a whole other new stench come November.
Sir, I need you to adjust your attitude. Go to YouTube and watch Joe Biden's video, and he says like this: "Hey guys, listen, Joe Biden, I got this thing coming up later this year. It's an election. If you got like $1.75." Tell your cousin, just, we got to beat this guy, man. So just click below. Is it below, guys? Yeah, click below and just send the money because we got to beat this guy. I'm like, how do you have a horrible ad? It wasn't like a live interview. They prepared this, and that's the best you can do.
That's the president of the United States. 30% of the people believe of the Democrats believe he is in cognitive decline.
Everybody is supporting him, sir. They're saying that they're getting behind this guy.
Right, man. You the devil if you don't. So, yeah, it's And he's gonna beat Trump. Look at that rally right there, man. Like if 100,000 people was really showing up, I was gonna be scared. That oh my goodness, he's unstoppable.
You got four black people behind you.
Right. Yeah. Empty heads though.
Is that Candace Owens? Or she's not black, right? Is that Candace?
Yeah. No, she's black on the outside like that, and empty, hollow on the inside.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Did you see the video of the black people in the audience dancing? Where
I did not.
Oh
so
yeah. So
don't say it, please. No, they weren't. Were they dancing?
Michael Jackson was playing in the background, and they're getting the hey, oh, they're getting it on, and the white people around them just like it's like yeah. You
How'd
just
they get here?
The whole show, huh? You're gonna give them the whole. Why don't you just make Soul Train line? As well.
A Trump Soul Train line.
And let's get the twerk off. Just to every stereotype we can live up to, but they were very happy to be there. Obviously, they were enjoying the hell out of themselves. Did you see the Kung Flu show?
I did not see the Kung Flu stage.
Look,
I missed that.
It was a WWF episode. Trump missed his calling, man. He should have been a pro wrestling manager because he's got that whole shtick down. The whole show was like pro wrestling shit. It was a stand-up act more than it was anything else.
And the crowd loved it, I'm sure.
I was dying laughing. I had tears coming out of my eyes, man. He almost made lemonade come out of my nose. I couldn't believe the president of the United States. I'm drinking some lemonade, and he says Kung Flu, bro. My sense of humor, that I almost lost the damn lemonade out my nose on that. I thought it was hilarious that this. It sounds he's like a guy that's talking to you on the stoop in front of the building in the Bronx. That's who he reminds me of. He's literally Archie Bunker in the White House. And the other option is that motherfucker you talking about, Joe Biden. I mean, God, dog.
Hey guys,
that's the better choice. It's ridiculous.
Right, so you mentioned the black folks dancing to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But I follow you on social media, sir, and you did another post this week about Michael Jackson. Can you tell the folks about that post where there was Michael Jackson in the background?
Oh my!
I'm just saying. Can you? I mean, talk to the people.
If you haven't seen it, man, it's Joe Biden in a room full of old, middle-aged
80s
white dudes. He had to be 50, man. Old 50. This is at 50. This shit is appropriate, and he's got a room full of at least 90+% white men. I didn't see any black men in there or any women at all in the audience. And he introduces the band, and then he says, oh, and by the way, I forgot to introduce to you our lead singer, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, please stand up. And this white dude stands up with this afro wig on and charcoal black face. And then Joe Biden, everybody's laughing, and Joe Biden's like, oh yeah, if I didn't tell you, Prince is coming by later too. Ha ha ha, he's gonna be Prince later or something. But that's the alternative.
That's the nominee.
Yeah, Mr. I don't want my kids growing up in a jungle, a racial jungle.
I saw that. So let the folks know about this. So listen, you all need to, if you want to follow what's happening. So Kenny gives you real-time updates about everything. So I hadn't heard that story yet. So he made a statement about he didn't want his kids going to school in an interracial environment or mixed environment where it would be like a jungle.
Oh, he said he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. It'll be a jungle.
So this is like, it's in the 70s? When did Joe Biden say that?
77, damn near 1980. Hip hop was already alive, officially. Kool Herc had already got on the ones and twos, and he's still talking about segregate the schools. He don't want
Joe Biden talking about jungle.
Yeah, crime omnibus bill, Joe. Yeah,
that's the option. But I read that the nominee, someone that has come to the forefront, all the way from California, our sister Kamala Harris. I heard she's leading contender to be the VP.
I think that all this police shit is hurting her right now. I think anybody that has a track record with the police, you're gonna have a problem. But, and I don't like her for that as well. But I got to thinking, if she were to become an ally and demonstrate that she's an ally, she knows all of the parlor tricks, the backroom dealing. She knows how the game is played. She knows what to bust up if she really wanted to bust it up. That's really the question. And she never demonstrated anything about her while she had the chance to bust it up by being in charge of it, the attorney general for the state, you know, you could have did something a little differently, but she leaned more towards abusing that power and making jokes about it, you know, sending people to jail for their children not going to school. Now, if I got a job and I'm going to work at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, or I go to job at the night shift and I don't get home until, and I got another job, I don't get home till noon, and my kid doesn't go to school because I don't have enough clothes to provide for him to look good and keep him clean, and he or she is embarrassed for wearing the same clothes and they keep cutting school, you're going to send me to jail for that? That's the kind of shit she did. And she laughed about it. She thought it was a joke. Yep. And I'd lock him up for that. Ha ha ha. So, and then she comes on Charlamagne the God Breakfast Club and she laughs about how she used to smoke weed, but you didn't put people in jail for smoking weed. You're laughing about doing the same shit. So I don't have a lot of faith in her. I don't have a lot of trust in her. But that's what I'm saying. That's that typical Democrat shit, man. I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I hate both of them motherfuckers. Yeah. You know, I don't even know if I'm an American, you know, in all honesty. Because really, I mean, are we, right? We're allowed to do certain shit. Like we can come into the restaurant, but we can't eat. So are you really a diner? Or if you walk into the restaurant and you don't get to eat, are you a diner? Or you just occupying space? So if we're in America, but they have to have a voting rights act for us to vote, a civil rights act for us to be treated civilly, an amendment to the Constitution just so we could be free, you know, motherfuckers kill us willy-nilly with badges and they get $1 million in a GoFundMe. Does that happen to Americans? You know, there's probably more people get better American treatment living in England their whole life, but you come over here with blonde hair and blue eyes and you're going to get more American than us. So I don't buy into all of this shit that I got to participate in picking one of these two pieces of shit.
All right. So as far as trying to galvanize, so everything you said about what we see in Kamala Harris, I think Caucasians don't see any of that. They just see that someone that want to support the left, and they'll say, you know what, we need someone that can uplift this old dude.
Right.
So they don't care about the crime bill. They're saying, you know what, she's the one.
They like that. They like that.
They ain't feeling Stacey Abrams.
No, they like the tough on crime.
So I'm saying
white liberals love to make sure that we're under control. You know, we got your back, black people, as long as your ass act right, motherfucker. Because think about it. Which are the cities that the police are the worst to us? They're all Democrat cities. We get treated like shit in Democrat cities. Vote local. Make sure you keep a Democrat in the fucking mayor.
Vote blue. Vote blue.
Every Democrat city, we got the problems with.
Whatever you do, vote blue.
Right. So,
well, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, if just as the Republican Party commits to whoever the nominee is or the president or whoever it is, it's like a gang. You know what? I don't hear what you're saying. I don't see that. This is our guy.
Right.
So if the left is the same way, if the vision and the drive and the goal is to defeat 45, what can we do since this nursing home guy, geriatric dude is the one? We got to have someone that's going to be a VP that can help uplift him. So whatever we got, if we want 45 out.
So you're assuming that the VP is going to have that much influence. Does Mike Pence uplift?
He doesn't need Mike Pence.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. That's the same thing on the other side.
Joe Biden needs help.
It doesn't mean he's going to take it. He's going to be president. You can't make him do shit. Look at Trump. Can't make him do shit once he's president. Well, so but listen, if he takes the help, just because he picks a black person to run with him to get your votes, that doesn't mean he's going to listen to that motherfucker. What in history shows you that he is going to listen to a black person? What has he ever done to make us think besides be Barack's manservant?
All right, so I don't think he got Barack's shoes shine. Well, all right, so was Joe Biden more present and seen in public under Barack than Pence is? I ain't seen Pence in like 3 years.
Right.
Because, you know, Trump is like all eyes on me.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I believe that Biden knows, and his people that are propping him up knows that he can't do this by himself. So he has to have someone that can be strong enough to
just that point is terrible.
It is. That's all they got.
That's reason. No, they had plenty of other options.
They messed up on like 4
everybody. They forced everybody to go that direction, and that's just where we are now. So now we got. But that should tell you what the Democratic Party is about. That it's not about the right thing. It's not about helping us. It's about the status quo. And if you're satisfied with the status quo, vote Democrat. If you're satisfied with the status quo, vote Republican. But if you're not satisfied with the status quo, what do you do? What do you do? You know, because even the people who vote tell you, if you ain't gonna vote for our person, then shut up. You got no voice in this. If you don't vote for our guy, you're voting for the other guy. So therefore, shut up. You're not even on our team. So there's not even any dialogue. You can't even get to business. And then it go again, back to the other point. You can't serve two masters. What are you first? Are you a black person first or are you a Democrat first? What is their agenda for you, black person? So you're gonna help the Democrats, but are the Democrats gonna turn around and come back and help you? I don't think so. You know, why after 8 years of a black president, right? Why do we still have to, because Joe Biden said it. It was ridiculous that he even brought this up as something to brag about. When Charlemagne asked him, after the you ain't black. And Charlemagne is like, no, that's not what I mean, man. I don't care about that. But I just want to know, you know, what you're gonna do for black people. What do you mean I'm gonna do for black people? I voted to extend the Voting Rights Act for another 25 years. Why do we still have to get permission every 25 years to still be able to vote as black people if we're Americans, if we're truly citizens? What other citizen has to get the permit renewed every 25 years to vote? And why aren't the Democrats fighting to make that an amendment to the Constitution so that it doesn't have to get voted on anymore? Why is it an act that has to be renewed? Why isn't it permanent? And so they're not really our friends, because if that gets renewed, then they lose that partnership, that they can't bribe us with that. We don't have to thank them for that anymore. They can't, and they don't have to come up with anything new to keep us interested in them and motivated. So what do they use? They just use fear tactics, and they offer us nothing. Now, granted, Trump is shit, but so is Biden. You know, like I said, you got the bowl of shit with the corn, a bowl of shit with the peanuts. I prefer the dried shit.
Corn makes shit look a lot better.
I prefer
roasted corn.
I prefer the dry white shit as opposed to the fresh hot brown shit. And Biden is going to be a bowl of fresh hot brown. I'd rather just keep the dry and the corn.
Hot shit be like shiny, like, you know, this shit just
it stink again. It stinks again. You smell it again. You know, I don't smell Trump anymore. Yeah, I don't smell him anymore.
All right, man. So on a lighter note.
Yeah. Corona's
I understand. Is it rumor or is it true that America's favorite dad from the 80s, from 1968, I Spy, everyone knows and believes that Kenny Beers, this man is going to get out of jail.
Mongo Slade
out of New York City. Is it a rumor? Is it true that Bill Cosby might get out of jail?
Right, because the argument is, I was in jail for putting pills in girls' drinks.
I was putting the pills in the ladies' dress.
People didn't like when they put the peoples in the pills in the pudding, and the people didn't. Yeah, so he's if it's.
I haven't heard the story, so tell me and everyone else what's going on.
Well, he's been granted an appeal by the Supreme Court, state of Pennsylvania, I believe, and as a part of that appeal, he can appeal to be released on bail while his sentence is reviewed by the Supreme Court. Whether or not they're going to grant it to him is up to the state Supreme Court, but his case has moved to that point where he has the opportunity to request it, and if he gets it, he gets it. If he doesn't, then he gets to, you know, he still sits in there. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. But yeah, it's I don't know how I feel about that. You know,
Weinstein.
Look, I got two daughters. You got a daughter, right?
That's so true.
So neither one of us are about our daughters being mistreated, right? And at the same time, I'm not about men being mistreated and being accused, and there not being a lot of evidence, because you know, charging somebody with rape, just the stain of being called a rapist, that's heavy. And I think
Oh, yeah, for life.
most women agree that, you know, making those kind of false charges, it is they don't stand by that, right? For sure, because it makes the real charges. That's why people push back on the real charges. So, and they shouldn't. So, though those allegations are hard to fight back. I remember when Bill Cosby, they had the Time magazine cover, and it was like 100 women. All these women is the ones that said he did it, but at the trial, it's only one. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one. And it and just the history in America, from Emmett Till, Rosewood, Tulsa, how many massacres, how many hundreds of Black people have been just murdered in cold blood because some white lady said that big Black man did something to me that I didn't want him to do. And it wasn't necessarily true. So I think that when you get to the Me Too movement, and
Right.
and Bill Cosby, you know, sort of scolding Black people, you know, in a and that coming back on him in a Me Too environment.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, is that KRS-One? Who's that?
That's the lady who started Me Too.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah,
apologies. Go
I
ahead.
don't think it happened to her too.
Why couldn't she be a victim too? What you trying to say?
No, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
know. I don't
if
know
you
that
look,
she. I don't know that that's her story. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
if
yeah.
it
Okay,
happened.
cool.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it actually happened to her, or if she's just standing up for women who it happened to.
Me too.
It
Yeah.
happens, but I don't know if it happened to her.
I look like KRS-One too. Me too.
So yeah. So Cosby, maybe getting out. I don't think she's gonna be happy about it though.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not
So
gonna be happy.
did she claim to be a victim of Cosby?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know her story. I don't know her story. I just, you know, appreciate her for founding the group.
Me too. Yeah.
And you know, necessary cause for sure.
It's important. It's important.
Right. And folks need to be called on the carpet when they conduct themselves in that way. There's no place for that in work and all that kind of stuff. People
Yeah,
come to work, go
because
to work.
when you look at the other side, Harvey.
Yeah. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. If Cosby did it, if Michael Jackson did it, if whoever did it, you deserve what you get. You deserve to be punished. I'm with that 100%. But if you didn't do it, man, that's a hell of a thing to accuse somebody of. And so, you know, if Bill Cosby did it, then, you know, he deserves the punishment he gets. But if he didn't, you know, just in paying attention to the trial, I remember, I don't have all the details of the trial anymore at this point, but what I came away with personally in paying attention to it was that, yeah, he was into that Quaalude stuff, but I didn't see as much, or maybe I missed some stuff, but I didn't see enough to the point that I thought that he would be convicted. Of it. You know, I thought if a jury sees what I saw, if I was on the jury, I would have been like, oh yeah, yeah, not guilty. There's something missing here. Not enough for me to, you know, there's reasonable doubt in the circumstance, you know, considering the context of the times, and Quaaludes, lewds, that was the thing. You know, I grew up in a drug house, right? My mother sold cocaine for a living, and the Nicky Barnes crew, and all that stuff, in Harlem Gangsters and all that kind of stuff. So I was in that drug culture as a child at, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I grew up in the lingo. So I remember everybody in the 70s. There was lewds and blow and Valium, and the Valium brought you down off the cocaine, and folks be up 3, 4, 5 days at a time. And Bill Cosby wasn't a cocaine head. His thing was the Quaaludes thing, the relax thing. So, you know, maybe that's what he was doing. Now, if he's spiking people's drinks with it, then that's a problem. But if that's just your drug of choice, then yeah, you got a bottle of it. Just like, you know, a rapper, Snoop, probably got a pound of weed at his house. So yeah, that doesn't mean he's raping women just because he's giving them all, making them smoke so much ganja that they pass out and he rapes them. Because he has a pound. Nobody thinks that. You know, if people like cocaine, they might have a kilo of cocaine in their house if they do cocaine like that. You know, Lil Wayne probably got a whole cabinet full of damn crystal or perk or whatever he's drinking, you know? And so if Bill Cosby had a whole bunch of Quaaludes, that doesn't mean that he was using them to rape. That just means he had a thing for Quaaludes. And so that's what I saw, right? And for what I understand, in his appeal, I mean, in his part of the basis of his appeal, is that in his civil suit that was used as evidence against him, his testimony in the civil suit, he didn't want to testify in the civil suit, but he was mandated to testify in the civil suit, and was promised in writing that nothing that he said in the civil suit could ever be used against him, and that he would never be charged criminally for this. Shortly after that, a new district attorney takes over and rips that agreement up, says it's unlawful, I'm not acknowledging it, and then turns around and uses that as the evidence for the case that he's convicted for now. So, you know, sometimes you just have to, I don't know. I didn't hear all of the tape. But that's we also want to make sure that the law treats everybody fairly. I wouldn't want to opt into an agreement with the government, with the state,
right,
and the state then turn around and break the agreement after I paid my penalty for the first go round. Now you bring it against me. That's not. You still have to be you know, honorable in business dealing. So that's the basis of the trial, that the evidence that was used against him should not have been admissible. And the Supreme Court of the state of Pennsylvania agrees that there's a strong enough argument that they're not going to dismiss it on face value. We want to hear the rest of that argument, and he may get to go home while that happens. And if it does, shoot, man, you just drag that out. He'll just drag that out for the next 20 years as best he can.
If he has 20, yeah. So we'll see what happens. So so I think we can agree that we are in a climate like never before, where we see where organizations and companies do 180 to support the movement.
Yeah.
We see where people of color have galvanized like never before. And we see a time where, are we just doing things to be seen on the screen, but what are we really doing behind the scenes? So what does that mean, you know, behind you? Does that really advance the movement of what we're trying to do, or is that just good for smoke and mirrors?
That's what we're dealing with still, man. Smoke and mirrors.
That's where we are. But I mean, I never thought I'd see a day where if you go to Indeed to search for a job, you're reminded that Black Lives Matter. You know, you can't do anything. If NASCAR says these Confederate flags are not what we're about, so we're in a place, in a space, in a world that we have not experienced before.
Right, and the
question is, so there's a momentum now. So what do we do with the momentum? That's it. So.
I don't really know. You ride it, you know, but you got to ask. Squeaky hinge gets the oil. Closed mouth don't get fed, and we too often settle for, we told you.
That's right.
I got that. I said that. Oh, he said that.
I had the best hashtag. I won.
You know, that's what we do all the time, and we get nothing in return. We take a pat on the head as if it has value.
You talked about the LGBT community. They got everything they wanted.
Right. They take shit. Right.
They told him.
We got the pictures.
That's what they need. Kenny B, so smoke and mirrors. So you are guaranteed to get the very best in current events. What's happening, the truth, political banter on Smoke Americas. Like and follow the page. Share with your friends, and we will give you exactly what you came to look and watch and hear every week. Kenny, let the folks know what to expect next week.
I don't know. Us.
That's what we do next week.
Holla.
Like, follow the page,
share.
Smoke and Mirrors. Listen, so those that have followed the page, any questions, you want to be a guest on the show, we have a guest line. Kenny, we have guests lined up for future shows that want to be a part of the show. So if you want to interact.
Financial authors, we've got historians, we've got TV, we got radio show hosts, we've got some pretty interesting folks that are interested in coming on here and getting down with us and rapping with us and trying to, you know, trying to see if they can handle me. Can't handle this. Can't handle this. Don't be a sucker.